there. My name's Alissa. I'm the case manager with NEPA Paranormal.
My name is Megan and I'm an investigator with NEPA Paranormal.
In this video we're going to be covering 4 different types of hauntings: intelligent, residual, demonic, and poltergeist activity.
One of the type of hauntings that we deal with as paranormal investigators is an intelligent haunting. Those type of haunting are the spirits and the energy that can interact with us. Those are the type of spirits that you see on all the famous ghost hunter shows, you know, when they're getting intelligent answers to their EVP questions or their spirit box sessions. Those are spirits that have the energy to communicate back and forth. They have the energy to possibly move things. They have the possibility to interact, make noises, shut doors, all the really cool stuff that we look for as investigators. Not every intelligent spirit is negative. You know, some people live with intelligent spirits in their homes and they're okay with it. Sometimes those intelligent spirits like to cause problems because they are intelligent, and homeowners and people who have those spirits in their house don't like them. So one of the most common things to do is to do a saging ritual where you can go in and sage a home and kind of cleanse all that energy and hopefully have that spirit pass on. Talking about the sage ritual, there are some different people that you can contact to help with that. One of the things are like holistic healers, like Reiki specialists, who are very versed in that type of ritual. If you're a spiritual person, you may call in the clergy. It's very, very important that if you are going to do a sage ritual, that you have someone who's historically accurate with it and they know what they're doing. In some instances, if you come in and you're doing a sage ritual and that person doesn't know what they're doing, you could actually make the haunting worse.
So another type of haunting that we're going to touch on is residual. That's basically something that belongs to the land, something that's been there, and that's, I don't want to say it's hard to get rid of, but if it's imprinted, there's really not much we can do. So residual is kind of like a tape that keeps playing back, a memory. So like if you're redoing your house and you see an apparition walk through a wall, there was a door there at one time. So that's residual energy, something that's not going to interact with you, something that's not going to notice you. They're going about their daily lives as they would when they were alive. Residual energy has a lot to do with the environment, the land, water can manifest residual energy. It's like a conductor. Depends on what kind of rock is in the soil. I think limestone, granite, anything like that is a really good conductor for residual energy. A good example of something residual, personally for me, would be the hauntings inspired by the Stephen King novel, The Shining. That hotel, the Stanley Hotel, is very popular for their residual hauntings. And the Stanley Hotel is built on a huge limestone quarry. So that's pretty much why that's all there. One way is to get rid of residual hauntings, again, you can do a saging, you can do a cleansing. Are they going to be effective? Maybe, but again, residual hauntings are really nothing to worry about. They're not going to affect you, they're not going to bother you. It's just something that's there that you might just have to live with. So another topic we're going to touch on is demonic hauntings, possessions, stuff of that nature, which is another one that's not specifically common. We do come across it. It is very rare, but it does happen. Paranormal groups can come and investigate, but personally what I recommend is getting the clergy involved and kind of nipping it in the butt before it gets out of hand.
Some of the common signs of a demonic haunting, as I mentioned earlier, they can mimic other types of haunting. It may initially start with something little, like doors closing or objects being moved, and it can progress into something more severe, like a person being held down in bed, or a bed shaking, or things being thrown. Demonic spirits have a tendency to mimic people, where they can, you know, throw energy into the air, which makes it sound like someone else that you may know. They have a tendency to mock children and mimic children, so you may think that you're dealing with, you know, a happy little girl spirit, when in actuality you're really dealing with a demonic spirit. And what I can say in that sense is, if you believe you have a demonic spirit in your house, it's not something that you want to take care of on your own. You definitely want to have someone who knows what they're doing, because as we mentioned earlier, when you're trying to do it on your own and you don't really know about what to do, you could really make this situation worse for yourself.
Another point to touch on with demonic hauntings is that there is a difference. There is demonic and there's negative. Not all negative entities are demonic. So there are ways to distinguish. One of the ways with demonic hauntings is the mocking of the Trinity, the number 3. So scratches in 3 lines, noises, waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, the smell of death. And when I say the smell of death, I mean putrid death, something festering in your house. There are so many other signs, but those are the basics that you kind of have to look out for. Now, things being thrown, temper tantrums, stuff like that, could be demonic, but it could just be negative. In the case it is a negative haunting, those are a little bit easier to take care of as opposed to demonic. But again, if you're feeling uncomfortable and you are a religious person, I do recommend calling the clergy in for that. Another call that we might experience is potential poltergeist activity. Again, not super common, but if it is poltergeist activity, you're going to be dealing with large objects being moved. Typically, poltergeist activity revolves around one specific person in the house, typically teenagers, typically females, and it really just has to do with energy. So, like I said, poltergeists are very rare and very hard to come across, but again, something that you definitely should look out for.
One of the ways that you can rid yourself of a poltergeist spirit is by calling in a Reiki master. They're very versed in that. When you think of a poltergeist activity, it's kind of like an open door. You need someone to come in and close that door and cut that portal off. So someone like a Reiki master or possibly a clergy member can come in and kind of cleanse the area and get rid of that poltergeist activity. Sometimes it may take multiple tries to do that, especially if the poltergeist energy is imprinted so much on the location. One of the most commonly asked questions about paranormal activity is, why do hauntings happen? There could be a traumatic event which imprints its energy on the area that it happened. It could be something residual. Most commonly, if someone passes away, their energy is still in the house. Sometimes there's something a little bit more severe, like a demonic or poltergeist activity, where it's never was here and it's something other earthly that's not part of this realm.
How could people avoid hauntings? There's not many ways to avoid a haunting. You move into a haunted house, there's no avoiding. One, don't use a Ouija board. Yeah, they're fun. You can get them at, it used to be Toys R Us, but no Ouija boards. That is just asking for trouble. You use a Ouija board, that's opening a door. Also, no conjuring. Don't conjure demons. Why would you do that? You don't want that in your house. Secondly, if you do notice little bits of activity happening in your house, don't encourage it. Just kind of keep it at the minimum. They're like children. They like to interact. They like the attention. They're going to use that attention and energy. So in this video, we touched on a few different types of hauntings that you're going to run into. Intelligent, residual, demonic, and poltergeist. If you want to check out our Facebook page, we're at NEPA Paranormal at facebook.com. Feel free to check us out, send us messages, ask us questions whenever you want. The link to our Facebook is on my personal Instagram, smarticiamama at instagram.com.